Alright, so in this video, I'm going to teach you the chords and scales that I'm using in this chord progression. So if you haven't watched lesson 2, or the chord progression D minor 7 to E minor 7, this is actually kind of similar to that, but we're adding one new chord and one new scale. So we're going to play this D minor 7, so we're still playing this, so the D, F, A, C, and then in your right hand you play E, F, A, C, and these are the notes that you solo on, so you can solo on them up here or up here as well. So that's for the D minor 7. And the chord progression goes E minor 7, E flat minor 7, and then D minor 7. So, and so the first chord that we're doing is E minor 7, so E, G, B, D. So, and then E, G, B, D. Then in your right hand you have F sharp, G, B, D. So F sharp, G, B, D. Play them together, it sounds like that. And then the second chord that we play, the kind of in-between chord, that is E flat minor 7. So we're going to play E flat, G flat, B flat, and D flat. So E flat, G flat, B flat, D flat. And then you're going to play F, G flat, B flat, and D flat in your right hand. So the whole chord is left hand, E flat, G flat, B flat, D flat, then F, G flat, B flat, D flat. So that's your second chord. So you're going to go from that first chord to the second chord to this third chord, which was the D, F, A, C and E, F, A, C. So D, F, A, C, E, F, A, C. So we're going to go first chord, second chord, and then third chord. And you can just rewind this video and you can learn each of these chords individually and then just play them in this order. So E first, then E flat, then D. So what you can do over this is you can solo in all of this whole right hand chord that you're playing here, this F sharp, G, B, D. You can solo in all these notes, just use this to solo. Then on the E flat minor 7th, you do the exact same thing. You use these notes to solo. So I'm just playing the exact same notes, but I'm playing them, up here or down here. And then the last chord, we play D minor 7, so we can use these to solo as well. And you want to land on these notes because they're going to sound good. So whenever you're changing chords from like E flat, and say I'm soloing on these notes, then I want to land on one of these notes when I go to the D minor 7, because I'm kind of anticipating the chord that I'm going to. But if you're just starting this, then just work on playing these notes while you're on this chord, and then these notes while you're on this chord. And the same goes for the first chord that we played, which is the E minor 7. So other than that, we can learn the 3 scales that go along with these chords, so that we'll have a like a full, we can solo on it, we can play the chord, we can play the bass note to go along with that chord. And you can add these bass notes anytime you want. So first chord, then I'll play the second chord, and I'll play the third chord, D. So that would sound like, and you want to make those bass notes powerful, as always, so. And then on the D minor 7, so you can play these 3 chords, and so now we know how to play the chords. We know we can solo on this right hand chord too, for all 3 of them. And then let's learn the scales that go with each of them. So I talked about the scales in the last lesson, the lesson on the D minor 7th and E minor 7th, so for the D minor 7th, you solo in 0 sharps or flats, so you have all white keys here. And then on the E minor 7th, you solo in this 2 sharp scale, or if you learned it in the last lesson, it's just D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. So that's the scale that you play on the E minor 7th. And then on the E flat minor 7th, and again, you can just go back and rewind and learn that scale that I'm talking about for the E minor 7th, or go back to the other lesson too. And then so for E flat minor 7th, we're going to play this scale. So it's going to be D flat, E flat, F, G flat, A flat, B flat, C, and then D flat again. It's called you could just look it up, it's the D flat major scale, but we're playing D flat, E flat, F, G flat, A flat, B flat, C, and then D flat. So that's the scale that you solo over the E flat minor 7. And then when you go to this D minor 7th, all white keys. Now I'm in my 2 sharp scale. And now I skip to that other scale immediately when I go to this minor 7th chord. And I'm soloing on these notes again, up and down. So what this sounds like is so whenever I'm changing chords in my left hand, I always change the scale that I'm playing in my right hand. So you hear that change there? So now I'm in the all white key scale. So let's take this slow if you're just getting used to this. So all white keys. So you just want to practice playing this chord in your left hand and then being able to switch to that scale so that you can just, whenever you want to, you just play, oh, E minor 7th, I'm on 2 sharps, or I'm on this scale right here, so. And then when I go to this chord, immediately I'm in D flat, this D flat scale. And then we go to all white keys right here. And when you put this over a beat, you can always play those bass notes, or you can play the chord first, then solo in that scale, then play the full chord, maybe play a bass note, then go to the last chord, play bass note, then you just solo in each of their scales, depending on whichever chord you're on.